rather than do. So you need, in these tough times, to explore public-private partnerships. Another one that I went to explore, just explore. We're on it, is the sewers. Our sewer system is in dismal shape, hasn't been really addressed in years. It had environmental issues and sabotage issues, tons of it. We're exploring now. I tell everybody, relax. You gotta wait. Let us do the due diligence. Let us talk to the people and let us get the information and put it out there. Meanwhile, as you follow this, there's been legislators and people out there killing it, just as they tried to kill inmate health care and just as they tried to kill operating the bus system. If you do see these people that say no, ask them what's their solution. How are you going to save money? What are you going to do? Because I have been, just amazed at the processes and the reporting that goes on to kill suggestions that can save you dollars and maintain services. Yes?
What do you see as the future for the Coliseum and the island?
Here's another one, and I talked about it at the LIA. It is amazing. Another issue that I had proposed something innovative, and you thought the world was ending. So here, let's look at this. 10 years, a decade has gone by. There was a proposal to build a new Coliseum through development rights and a large-scale development that didn't go forward. We could argue it might have been for it again. It just didn't go forward. Then we tried to do something, an in-between deal, a little bit higher on the density, a little bit lower, this and that. Didn't work. Then I proposed a casino. Casino, why? Because a casino would come in and they have the dollars and they would have built a new Coliseum and a parking garage. It cost you nothing. As a matter of fact, we would have made $30 million a year off just the operations of the casino. Plus, you would have a new Coliseum and other things that would have occurred. But for many reasons, that didn't go forward in the time frame that we needed. And as you follow it now, they're still talking about casino gaming. At some point, New York will have table gaming, whether it be through the Indian nation or through a constitutional amendment that the government is considering. But you're going to see it happen here. Why? Because our residents are taking our dollars that could run our government and pay for our services and bringing them to New Jersey, Connecticut, Las Vegas, and other areas. We're in tough times. So you'll see it. But anyway, many people shot that down, had universities and this and that before we even got off the ground. So when that became evident to me, it would not happen in a time frame in which the islanders would have to make a commitment to renew their lease. I said, well, let's ask the people. Let's ask the people, do you want to invest in a new Coliseum? Invest in a new Coliseum, we'll take 11.5% of the gross revenue, plus as your government, we take 8.625% in the taxes, and we take another $1.50 per ticket. So there's a significant amount of money that comes back to your county, not to mention the hotel stays and jobs that we've maintained. And, just an aside, even in its dismal shape right now, economists have reported and studied it produces $200 million economic activity in our county. $200 million. It's not just about Islander games. As a matter of fact, Islander games is a small but important part of it. It's the circus and the car shows and all the other things and expos and other things that occur on that property, Disney on Ice. Those all generate dollars, they generate excitement, and to boot, there's a quality of life issue, right? You want to send your kid to a concert, it's in Unionville. You don't have to put them on a train, go to Brooklyn, Manhattan, right in your own backyard, as well as those other opportunities. Well, I put out a referendum, asked the people to invest in it. Unfortunately, under the law, when I do that, under the law, I can't advocate for it. Crazy laws, right? So we couldn't advocate for it. When we tried to get out and talk about it, the opponents and some of it political called the DA, go down and investigate. So I have a DA investigation now that we're talking about a project that, I don't know, could save a couple thousand jobs, $200 million in revenue to our economy here. So this is the craziness that goes on. The intent, as soon as I mentioned it and put it forth, was to kill it. Kill it. Not talk about how to make it better, not talk about how you can advance this, not talk about how you can keep the Coliseum. Kill it. Well, kill it, they did. Not by a huge margin, but it got killed. So here we are, once again, as that clock is ticking away as to whether you're going to keep a Coliseum here or not, as to whether you're going to keep the Islanders here or not. soon, in the next several weeks, we're going to try another attempt. And as I said at the LIA and other organizations, and I urge you as business leaders and residents here, look at it. Look at the good in it. Look at the options and the alternatives. My experience in government is anything you do, any existing operation, there's always things that you could explode that aren't. You know, you could have the best suit on, Sam Roque, and I say, I hate your tie. They'll talk about his tie. This guy's got a crazy tie. You know, look at him. They don't talk about the good. He looks good, he's very neat, it's a beautiful suit. We need to start looking at the things that mean things to us and future generations. The government before us built things that have lasted and provided opportunities and quality of life. We need to continue to work together to try to keep and improve on them instead of allow them to leave. Allow them to leave. It's sad. Charlie?
I'm going to follow up to your initial question. After the loss of the referendum, Newsday had a question was asked of Charles Wong, how come you won't just come out and build on the Coliseum property? He says, I won't build on a property I don't own. And I know the county's in bad shape, and you're $200 million in the hole. Here's a situation that, and you know what we had for 20 years now, and you know my truth from the hip. It's time to go ahead and sell the property to him, call his bluff, and say to him, you want to build there, but you also have to go ahead and take Kate Murray and literally tell her to be quiet, because I was at the hearing where she outright basically was racist to him. She made a really bad
let me
remark.
say this, that everything's on the table. We're going to try to move something forward. To be honest with you, the property as a component of it, whether it be development rights, whether it be out sale, long-term lease, has always been available. It's always been available. As long as there's a fair market value component, it's always been available. And I'm sure it'll be part of the next deal. It was part of all of the deals.
Thank you. I live in the Five Towns area, I live in North Woodmere. And about 3 or 4 years ago, the area legitimately was declared a flood area. I mean, one storm 6 years ago, I had a foot of water in my basement, so I can't claim it doesn't flood. But the way the taxes were changed, or the way the insurance was changed on mortgages, that the law was designed that if you have a $50,000 mortgage or a $250,000 mortgage, you must buy a $250,000 of insurance on that mortgage. So instead of refinancing, where I can get now a 3% mortgage, I have to say, do I bite the bullet and pay off my mortgage because that $2,000 a year payment, or it's close to it, is equal to the savings on the interest writer? Now, last year, 2011, the first time, it was lowered down to like $400, $500 to pay for it. But I understand that was a temporary fix, and that in the near future, it's going back up to $1,800, $2,000 each home. If you even have $25,000 left on your mortgage to buy $250,000 of insurance on the home because you still have a mortgage. That's absolutely killing us because I can't refi my home until I know what my situation is. And if I take all of those assets to pay down, I have about $150,000 left on my mortgage. To pay off my mortgage, I don't have that money elsewhere to use, even if it's for a college fund for my children. So that's it.
I'll certainly look into that. It's certainly not a county law. We'll have to look into where that's, whether that's federally regulated or if that is an industry-driven rule. But we'll take a look at it for you. It's certainly not a county law. That's certainly not.
Ed, Oxford used to have a high-speed ferry from Glen Cove to London, and it was, for a while, it was a big economic boost to Glen Cove. There were restaurants, there were fees, there was tourism, etc. And it was an over an hour trip. Is there any talk or anything in the pipeline for a ferry from Glen Cove to the city, which is about a half-hour trip?
Right. That's a good suggestion. I'll talk to the mayor over there in the city of Glen Cove and see what their thoughts are. He's been very progressive.
Hi, Larry Weiss. Our phone company that we operate was born and developed in the listen and incubator that paid, and you were part of that. Very grateful for that. I'm wondering now what role the county is playing in helping to incubate new business.
As you know, I'm a big fan of incubators. I had the great pleasure to help start the first incubator on Long Island for high technology, which was in the old Briarcliff building, the Briarcliff building, the old Drummond building. in Bethpage, Rich Cruz and others. And Larry, you were a tenant there as well and a good contributor. We have, we're trying to give that rebirth in the county of Nassau through an IDA deal that we have close, where we'll soon announce that part of it will be to give back space to creative engineers. So we're trying to recreate that process. I think it's a great process. It's a great investment. For those who don't know what it is, you try to get some space where you can provide low-cost rent, where you can put people together in a like industry, in a complementary industry, get them together and see what can grow. Now, everybody in there may not be successful, but the successes that come out of there really become great employers. And we encourage those that take part in that to remember who gave you your start, who made the investment in you, so when you go to start your business, we ask them to stay on Long Island. There's a business on Long Island, whether it be Nassau, Suffolk, helps everybody. We all cross our borders, regional approach. And we're trying to do that again. We kind of have that concept, if you will, at our Homeland Security Center, first of its kind in a nation. It is in another old Grumman building on the Bethpage property. In our Homeland Security Center, the Morale Center, I've moved our Office of Emergency Management. We have that in there. We have government in there. We have various agencies, and we have the private sector that practice in the defense industry or create defense industry products, and then we try to bring them to market. And what better way than if our Office of Emergency Management can, test them, use them, and ultimately, hopefully, be a purchaser of them. So we have that going with respect to research and development. You'll soon see a composite industry come out of that, which will help revitalize, a manufacturing industry that uses, the intellect that we have here on the island. But good question. That's what we're doing. Any others? There being none, I thank you for having me. Rich, it's always a pleasure to be with you.